Hello, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. Follow me on the social things and like the video, please. Just do it. Anyway, so the last video was a bit dark and heavy, so I thought we'd do a fun one because there's something fairly significant going on in the world right now over in America. And I've seen a few conversations taking place on Reddit and other social places asking, as a narcissist, do you have any empathy or sympathy for the orange man and what he's going through right now? And I thought it would be interesting to explore this question. We've got a glowing example of a breakdown happening. So let's have a talk about it. So a couple of things to make clear beforehand. We don't know for certain that the orange guy is a clinical narcissist. I'm not a I can't diagnose anybody. It's like technically unethical to diagnose anybody who doesn't want to be diagnosed. And I couldn't even do that or diagnose somebody that wanted to be diagnosed. I'm just a person who has the internet and television and shit like that. Okay. So let's just take a look at the markers of NPD. And as we go through them, just think about the orange man and things we've seen and heard and things he said. And just see how you feel about this. The first marker is having an exaggerated sense of self-importance. I could do the clever thing and like cut in pictures of tweets or news articles or news footage or whatever. You can think of one for all of these. Having a sense of entitlement and require constant excessive admiration. Does that sound like anyone we know? Expect to be recognized as superior even without achievements that warrant it. Exaggerate achievements and talents. I mean, come on. Yeah, we don't know, but come on. Next marker, be preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. Believe they are superior and can only associate with equally special people. I can just look to camera after all of these, can't I? Monopolize conversations and belittle or look down on people they perceive as inferior. Expect special favors and questioning compliance with their expectations. Take advantage of others to get what they want. Have an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. Be envious of others and believe others envy them. Behave in an arrogant or haughty manner, coming across as conceited, boastful, and pretentious. Insist on having the best of everything, for instance, the best car or office. I think he might like be all of it, right? Don't you think? Am I being crazy here? Am I being unreasonable? Could we not give examples of all of these behaviors over a period of time? I mean, come on. You could get examples of all of this from the news this week. You could get it from the news a year ago and from 4 years ago, and indeed probably since before the time he became president as well. We know what we're looking at, right? At the same time, people with narcissistic personality disorder have trouble handling anything they perceive as criticism, and they can become impatient or angry when they don't receive special treatment, have significant interpersonal problems and easily feel slighted, react with rage or contempt and try to belittle the other person to make themselves appear superior, have difficulty regulating emotions and behavior. Does this sound like the orange man or what? experience major problems dealing with stress and adapting to change, feel depressed and moody because they fall short of perfection, have secret feelings of insecurity, shame, vulnerability, and humiliation. I don't. So I'm not really passing opinion on the man's politics, which by coincidence I happen to grossly disagree with on every level, but that's not really what we're here to talk about. Clearly, there's enough there for us on our level to say we're looking at another one of us, right? And this one's been allowed to run amok. This one got to the fucking White House. Which staggers me still. How he did that. How that actually happened. It was a real thing and we lived through it for 4 years. It will forever be a real thing because it really happened. And I don't know. I feel like I'm in an episode of Sliders. 2 people got that, but I know what I mean. Do I feel empathy with him? Yeah. I've done it all. I didn't get to become president of the United States, obviously. But I've done all that. I built my little empire. And it was all based on bullshit. I didn't achieve what I was bragging I'd achieved. I had nothing to back up my bragging. All of this stuff, I was vulnerable to criticism because really I knew that I was open to it. It was this horrible feeling of dread, constantly waiting for it to all fall down. And what we're looking at now in America is somebody's little empire all falling down, except his is a much, much larger empire. And horrific, awful things are happening as a result of it. Nobody died when I did my thing. And that is ultimately the problem with somebody making it so far. Is he treated for this? Is he self-aware? I'm going to guess clearly not. If he's self-aware, then the psychopathy must be off the scale. And I don't know, it's kind of fair to say it's pretty high. You know? There are certain things that even in my greatest rages, even in my greatest times of hatred and anger, there's things this guy does that I couldn't get near. Things that would cause me emotional trauma if I realized I'd done them. So I can't imagine right now. It must be so much panic he's going through. So much fear and panic. What's going to happen to him when he's not the president anymore? Because I think there's a lot of people that want a piece of him. And whether or not he's done anything or whatever, again, look, I'm trying to remain as neutral as I can in this. That's got to be a thing to fear, right? I wouldn't like to be accused of the things he's been accused of. And I especially wouldn't like to be accused of them if I'd actually done them and was going to get into trouble for it. That's got to be a worry, hasn't it? And so not only are you looking at your own empire falling down around you and all of this proof, this just indisputable proof that you're full of shit. When you say that you're the most wonderful, amazing thing that's ever happened, and then the American people turn around and literally write down on paper, fuck off. That's just, you can't look away from that. And he's been trying to for so long. He was going to try and run to Scotland until Jimmy Cranky said no. That was mean, Richard. But she said it, and he's not going there. You're going to look at your mess. And he doesn't want to, does he? He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to accept defeat. He's going to go kicking and screaming and be dragged out of this. Because it's a delusion. It's a lie that the whole world has been involved with for the last 4 years. His built-up self-opinion of how amazing he is, he managed to convince enough other people of that to keep it going. And I feel more inclined to blame a system that has created people who would fall for that more than him. Because, God, to what extent? Right, this gets deeper. So, look, to what extent are we responsible for the things we do when we have a personality disorder? To what extent can that damage be limited by those around us? He's a raging narcissist who believed in himself, misguided though it was, but became the president of the United States by convincing enough people that he was everything he said he was. And that was allowed to happen, and that just went on, even though there were lots of people who could see this was something very bad going on. He's just doing what he does. There are supposed to be systems in place, and that system in place is asking 300 million American people, do you think we should let this guy do this? And enough of them said yes. That's a problem, isn't it? But anyway, look, we have the same problem over here with different but same issues, right? It's what is it with these people that fall for this? Why do they fall for the narcissism? Why do they fall for that? Why do they want to believe in us? And isn't that where some sort of feeling of power comes from? Imagine convincing that many people of your delusion and have them turning up to rallies and shouting how amazing you are and just soaking that up. I can't imagine what that must feel like. No wonder he did it. No wonder he pushed it as far as he could. Because why wouldn't you? When you're stood there genuinely thinking, yeah, I'm better than all of you and you should just let me be in charge. Why would you not do that? My God. And to block out every bit of evidence that speaks to the contrary, you can clearly live in delusion for a very long time. Just watch Fox News and carry on. And tell everything that disagrees with you that it's wrong, or ban it, or block it, or have it not talked about. Clearly, I can feel some degree of empathy or sympathy with the orange man. I've had the rage. There's all these shared feelings. Would I have done it if I could? If I could become in charge of this country, would I do that? Yeah. Yeah. You bet I would. Why would you not? Well, look, the answer is you wouldn't, because most people aren't narcissistic, crazy people who want that much power and control over the rest of the world or their country and people in it. But what if you are that kind of person? Yeah, you would do it. I'd do a Trump, so to speak. The difference is he had the power to start doing it in the first place, right? I can think I'm as brilliant as Trump thinks Trump is, but I'm just sat here in the Bradford area in my house. Nothing else is going to come of that. I don't have millions of dollars to invest in an election campaign and all of that sort of thing. Although I might be able to convince some of you lot that I'm as brilliant as I think I am. But again, I'm just joking. Crazy times, eh? Did I actually draw any conclusions from that, or did I just ramble for a quarter of an hour? I don't know, but I kind of enjoyed it because I love these complex, muddied grey issues. I will wrap things up with this. I might be able to understand what he's going through, and I might be able to, on some levels, relate to those emotions and feelings. This does not translate to me feeling bad for him. Right? I think he's probably going to get what he deserves. I hope he does. Because there's been a lot gone very, very wrong. And that sort of thing. I don't feel bad for him. Because while he's not done it alone, he has done this to himself. I don't feel bad for me and the delusion I created. I feel better off than I'm out of it. To be perfectly honest, I'm glad it fell down. I'm glad it broke apart. Maybe in the long term, he'll be better off for this as an individual, but I'm not really that fussed about that level of detail with it. When we do the bad things that we do because of this disorder, we have to own them. We have to take responsibility for them. That helps us become aware. We have to know what we're doing so that we can fix ourselves. And so even though it hurts, you've got to have your empire smashed in. I don't feel bad for him. I'm sorry. I just understand what he's going through. That's the best I can give you, I'm afraid. Maybe he can get help now. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.